What if I told you it was possible to turn $20 into as much as $50,000 in a small amount of time? Ordinary people just like you are turning sums of money as low as $20 into as much as $50,000 in a matter of weeks. That's right. Every day, normal people just like you are making a fortune from investing as little as just 20 bucks. And today, you're going to discover exactly how you can do that too. Dear investor, my name is Andrew Sokolov. Just a few years ago, I was a construction worker struggling to make ends meet. These days, I'm a whole lot more than that, and I'm speaking to you today to tell you something very important. If you're tired of the typical market returns you've gotten by investing in the stock market, buying bonds, or through real estate, please pay very close attention to what I'm about to tell you. In fact, even if you're just a regular guy or gal looking to quit the day job, stick around, because what I'm about to share with you could change your finances in a matter of hours. You see, ever since a well-timed investment gave me the freedom to quit a job I always hated, I've been knee-deep in the world of cryptocurrency. I've conducted extensive analysis and research, overseen hugely successful cryptocurrency day trades, spotted ICOs that became massive gainers, learned the ins and outs of mining, and more. So, I want you to believe me when I tell you, I've seen firsthand how the 1% of the 1% stay on top. Do you know how they do it? It's simple. They take advantage of loopholes in the marketplace to generate massive returns with almost no risk to them whatsoever. Many of them started out with just $20. Some of those are now multi-millionaires. Yes, they turned $20 into over $1 million. You must have heard or read about Bitcoin, for example. And that's old school already, but it still turned $20 into millions for some early buyers of Bitcoin. If you're not one of them, it's absolutely infuriating. If you don't have their level of access, I can't think of anything that's more frustrating. I was angry about it once, but now I'm ready to level the playing field. Today, I'm going to reveal to you how cryptocurrency can change your life for the better, increase your net worth, your income, and transform your financial standing in the world in a matter of just days or weeks, even if you have zero experience and no previous knowledge of cryptocurrency. And I'm going to show you how to make this work, even if you only have a little bit of money to invest and limited to no experience, even none whatsoever making investments. It's already working for regular, ordinary folks, many of whom had never purchased even a single share of a single stock in their lives. Like Daniel R., a retired electrician from Tampa, Florida. Daniel made an initial investment of just $500. He says, even just a few years into my retirement, I was worried about running out of Social Security payments over the years to come. Now, I've got the resources to support not just myself and my wife for the rest of our lives, but also enough money to take my kids on the trips I've always wanted to. The first investment of Lisa M's life was in cryptocurrency. She wrote to us to say, my initial investment has made me more money than the last 2 years I've spent working full time. This sounds crazy, right? It's not. In fact, in the world of cryptocurrency, this is par for the course. And if you're not investing, you're missing out. There are unprecedented gains to be made in this world right now, and the mainstream media has picked up on it. Even Fortune has shown tested, proven, empirical data that cryptocurrency has ballooned in value from $10 billion to $150 billion over the previous year. And if the second half of 2018 is anything like the second half of 2017, this pattern is set to continue. Now, I want you to watch this entire video right now, not tomorrow and not an hour from now, and be sure to watch until the very end. Here's the thing. If you know where to invest your money and put it in the right place at the right time, you can turn a single dollar into 10, 100, 1,000, a million, or even more. But for most people, we're forever seeing these opportunities in the rear view. That's why this is so important. We are now living through a moment with the potential to be much, much bigger than the last tech boom, and one that you can still stake a claim in. In fact, cryptocurrency may very well be the biggest opportunity of our lifetimes. Here's why. It's taking place all over the world. It's changing how we think about money. It's going to revolutionize how we do business, and major corporations are finding compelling use cases and adoptions for vested, vetted companies creating cryptocurrencies to power this new wave of technology. In the mid-2000s, companies like Google, Facebook, Amazon, and Apple innovated and achieved supermassive success on an unprecedented scale. And cryptocurrency is destined to be the success story of the 2010s. Cryptocurrency is going to do to the global payment system what Uber did to the taxi industry. It's going to render tedious, highly regulated, and expensive transaction systems obsolete, transforming how we send and receive payments and think about currency. And this is destined to send a ripple effect through our entire world economy. This may seem hard to believe, but it's true. The numbers prove it. Take a look at Verge, which made gains of 5,214% in a matter of just days. It went on to level out from $100 to $57,125. Or Stellar, as it increased in value by over 14,000%. Yes, over 14,000%. A single $100 bill on Verge 4 months ago would be worth $57,119 to you today. Yet the majority of people in this world have never heard of Verge or Stellar. Why is this? It's simple. Right now, these coins have found an audience only with innovators, insiders, experts, and early adopters. They aren't as easy to buy or as overpriced as Bitcoin, which made a splash in the world economy and the mainstream media when it rose as high as $20,000 in late 2017. At this point, unless you've got a lot of money to invest, you've likely missed out on your chance to benefit from making a major investment in Bitcoin. But you have an opportunity right now to invest in a number of cryptocurrencies positioned to become the next success story on that level. And you can do it for just pennies or dollars per token. Soon, the market is expected to grow at an unprecedented rate, with hundreds of millions of people making their first cryptocurrency investments after the gains we've forecast over the course of the next year. In less than 5 years, innovators and trailblazers are all but guaranteed to ensure that cryptocurrency sees mass adoption amongst financial institutions, businesses, and citizens. And once this happens, the early adopters of these technologies and ground floor investors are positioned to reap rewards like never before in our lifetimes. Why is this? It's simple. Cryptocurrency offers buyers and sellers the chance to democratize and decentralize world finance. Imagine having the power to buy or sell anything without having to pay fees to credit card carriers, big banks, or government institutions, and to do it instantly. We once relied on gold as our primary descriptor of value. We may soon be thinking in terms of cryptocurrency. There are millions of dollars for the taking here. And for the first time ever, you can get involved with only a few dollars to invest. Traditional currencies, and even currencies backed by a physical standard like gold, are all heavily centralized. They're subject to the whims of regulatory agencies, politicians, and bankers who have the power to twist and manipulate their value in order to best suit their needs, not yours. We all saw what happened in the Great Depression, and you lived through the Great Recession 10 years ago, when bankers played the markets for their own selfish gain and hurt millions worldwide, mostly while receiving bailouts and bonus packages from world governments and their employers. Cryptocurrency is your chance to level the playing field, a way to shift power away from the haves. How? It's simple. Cryptocurrencies are largely decentralized, powered by blockchain networks. These networks, which are becoming more secure, sophisticated, faster, and more powerful with every passing month, are computer systems that validate and verify each other, using complex mathematical equations to ensure accuracy. Everyone can see these calculations and each payment on a blockchain network, though your individual identity remains private. No one person or entity regulates the networks, and no one has the ability to warp them for their own selfish needs. This means that cryptocurrency is fast becoming one of the best investments in the world. But if you don't believe me yet, let's take a step back for a moment. I'm going to share with you my own story. Back in 2014, I was a construction worker, performing backbreaking labor for upwards of 10 hours a day. I'd wake up early each day, spend what felt like an eternity in either the blazing sun or the pouring rain, and then come home exhausted, unable to give my fullest self to either my wife or my 2 children. I wasn't happy, and it showed. I started losing feeling in my shoulders, gained weight, was constantly worrying about my future, and struggled to make ends meet. Then, one day, I found out that my boss had been mismanaging the company for years, and the company collapsed overnight. I was suddenly unemployed, didn't have health benefits to deal with my medical issues, I hadn't had a moment to see a doctor for, and had never felt more lost in all my life. I applied to a number of jobs, but wasn't hearing back like I had expected, and my health problems were probably scaring off potential employers, even though I wasn't trying to say anything about them. I scrambled and picked up a few things here and there, but I didn't have a big picture solution to the big issues that were quickly becoming serious problems. Making our mortgage payments, having money to cover anything that might happen to our children, and even having a working car to drive to what odd jobs I could land. It was around this point that I started hearing a lot about Bitcoin. I was never super tech savvy, but I'd seen some of the early stories in the news, heard bits and pieces from friends who were paying closer attention than I was, and noticed one crucial thing. Every year, Bitcoin seemed to be worth at least 100% more than it was the year prior. And at that point, the barrier to entry was still very low. So, I did something you shouldn't do. But again, I was desperate. I put a significant chunk of the end of my savings in Bitcoin and decided to see what would happen. And I got lucky. Very lucky, in fact. That investment grew from being worth a few $1,000s to several tens of thousands of dollars. It got me out of debt, gave me the money I needed to see a doctor and get my health issues sorted out once and for all, provided our family with much needed financial security, and served as the foundation for what has since become my life's work. Over the last 3 years, I've been working full-time as a cryptocurrency trader. I spend my days researching, investigating, and talking to other experts and insiders in this rapidly growing field about the incredible opportunities at hand, what to avoid, and how to get ahead in this sometimes extraordinarily complex world. I also work extensively with newcomers who want to stake their own claim in the world of cryptocurrency, teaching them everything they need to know to get started. Most of them have almost nothing to invest, at least at first. Almost all of them had extremely limited experience, if any at all, making investments. And many of my students, even first-time investors who had never done anything like this in their lives, have done extraordinarily well. Like David, from Minot, North Dakota. Until a year ago, I hadn't invested in anything ever. I'd been renting property my whole life, working mostly so-called lousy jobs in places like grocery stores, order fulfillment warehouses, and malls. You name it, I've tried it. I've always just gotten by, and it hasn't always been easy. It's been tougher to stay on my feet all day, and more, I've found myself not wanting to even think about going to work when I wake up in the morning. So, one day, a friend of mine who's always been a bit more into this stuff than I have, reaches out and says, "Hey, have you ever heard of Bitcoin?" I said no because I hadn't, but I did a little bit of reading. Then I signed up for the presentation, went through the course, and walked away astounded. It was easier to get set up and make my first investment than I ever expected, and within a week, I had turned my first profit. It really was something I'd never seen before. And months later, I've set myself up to earn more than I had in my last 3 years of working retail combined. Thanks again, and I can't recommend the system enough. Or Alice from Pocatello, Indiana. I started hearing about Bitcoin all the time late last year, just like everyone else. I saw how much a single coin was trading for and thought to myself, I can't afford to get involved in that. Then, weeks later, I started hearing about all the other cryptocurrencies in the world, and I stumbled across your course in my research. I was stunned to discover that the barrier to entry was extremely low, and the potential for serious gains was very high. I spent $20 on a number of different coins, none of which were trading for more than a few cents, and ended up with, well, a whole lot more than $20. It's been an incredible journey, and I can't wait to see what happens next. So what exactly does the course consist of, and how do I take newcomers from zero to ready to invest so quickly? Here's what you'll get. A 30-plus part video course with comprehensive links and resources, teaching you all the basics of crypto trading. This video series is constantly being updated, with new videos replacing any information that becomes out of date or less valuable over time, ensuring that you know everything and you're never behind the curve. Access to my personal selections of the best coins to invest in. It can be overwhelming to try to sift through news about the hundreds of new coins being made available each month. Let me handle the hard work for you, allowing you to simply make the investments and reap the benefits. A comprehensive guide to different cryptocurrency wallets available, including the pros and cons of each and which will work best for your individual specific needs. Expert tutoring and guidance from former Wall Street traders and investors who have abandoned the traditional stock market to make the most of the incredible opportunities cryptocurrency currently offers. Personal support directly from me. You can write me anytime to get answers to any questions or problems you may have. We don't outsource any part of our operation, and I promise to get back to you promptly. Additional links and resources for further education, personally curated by me and my team. I'll keep you away from misinformation and bad advice while giving you plenty of reading material if you're interested in learning more about this fast-growing new economy. And here's a big picture overview of the course that I'll be providing. Introduction. I share my whole story with you, show you what's possible in this new world, and take you through everything that's going to happen next. What is cryptocurrency? What is a blockchain? I teach you the basics of cryptocurrency and the blockchain technology that powers it, getting you up to speed on how they work, what's happened over the last 10 years since Bitcoin was first released, and why these networks are so powerful. How is cryptocurrency used? Why is it changing the world? I'll give you a technical and practical explanation of how these coins are used in the real world, why they're becoming so popular, and share with you some real examples of how they're being used to shift the world economy right now. The major cryptocurrencies. I'll teach you everything you need to know some of the most popular cryptocurrencies, including what they're currently used for, why they're so popular, and if they're still a good investment opportunity. Altcoins. We'll explore what an alternative coin, altcoin for short, is, why they matter, and some reasons that they might be very powerful and affordable investments. Wallets. You will learn what exactly a wallet is in cryptocurrency, how and where to get your first wallet, how to use it, and how to keep it safe and secure. Crypto exchanges. You'll learn about the many different crypto exchanges, what roles they play in the crypto economy, and which exchanges I recommend using. Getting your first coins. We will show you how to acquire your first coins through investing or mining. Crypto investment strategies. Discover different ways that crypto power players are reaping massive rewards through the crypto markets, portfolio types, and strategies to grow your investments in both the short and long term. Fundamental analysis. Learn how to analyze a cryptocurrency to assess its utility, worth, and proper value. Technical analysis. Using what you learned in the previous section, you'll get the power to accurately read charts and determine whether a cryptocurrency is actually a good investment. Next steps. In this conclusion, we'll go over best practices for new cryptocurrency investors, a number of recommendations, and the next things you should do on your cryptocurrency journey. There's even more within Crypto Wealth Society, but there's only so much I can tell you about it right now. Now, I want to ask you a question, and I want you to think seriously about the answer. What would you consider to be the value of complete and total financial independence and freedom? Don't think about your current financial situation, your debt, or your current job. Don't think about how you've thought about money until now. Do think about everything you've ever read about power players in the global economy, their lifestyles, their successes, the fact that they seem to be having a lot more fun than they are working, even if they happen to be working hard. Think about having the power to live like them. Think about never worrying about money ever again. Think about how much every financial crash course you've been offered costs. The so-called experts, even just a consult from someone who's going to recommend you buy into safe investment like bonds, which other experts no longer even recommend given the state of inflation and will offer you returns of less than 10% over decades, will charge you hundreds of dollars to tell you things you already know. Some insiders are so protective of their knowledge that they just won't share. They won't take meetings, they won't advise, and they certainly won't present their proprietary knowledge in a way that's fun, accessible, and easy to read. And some won't take a meeting or even give a presentation without you throwing down thousands of dollars, not including your travel expenses, which can add up quickly. Many of them won't give you personalized direct support. However, I'm willing to offer you a whole lot more than they are. And I'm willing to do it